this time on Dice Funk.
Okay, so he's into some stuff. All right. And would go over and start pulling the curtain across.
You see a lush but strangely colored clearing in the middle of some forest. And all the while you can see Drip just clopping about, just having a great old time in this open little clearing in the middle of, well, what should be Ozzy's house.
Oh my god. What's my birthday?
What you're saying is it's not a time machine, it's a machine for time.
Yes, this is what people don't understand.
It's the distinction between a ghost pirate and a pirate ghost. Got it.
Yeah, I'm okay with this, mainly because Neellith, as useful as they have been, Neellith cannot handle the screaming they do.
Mm-hmm.
It's sensory overload.
Too much. Exactly, it's just too much.
I'm with you there.
Sorry, I'm still stuck on being bitten in half. I don't recommend it.
If you're interested in finding out more about Laszlo via Voya, it's not a secret that the house that I live in currently is where Voya lived and where I lived with Voya for, well, the 20-ish years before Voya went missing. So...
Hey, Laszlo.
You still have to live with everything you do.
Emotionally in my neurochemicals?
Exactly, yeah.
Oh, okay. Hey, Laszlo.
Perfect.
Yeah, why are you doing that? Yes, the sortition. Now tell us the information we want to know. And I also know what you did with that person the other night.
I don't know what that means, but Laszlo casts Fireball on you.
Oh god, we have to fight the whole village.
Extremely mentally scrambled right now. A lot of important stuff going on today. Of course, several of us planning big events, perhaps the biggest of which is the Modest Mouse concert I'm going to tomorrow.
Oh, heck.
Absolutely.
I really hope that mouse is very modest for you and...
Listen, Austin, I don't think you understand how much I had to plan for that concert for you specifically, okay? I had to pull every string I had access to.
I hope that mouse is very modest and doesn't get too full of themselves and ruin the experience.
You never know with Isaac Brock. Not a particularly mentally balanced human being. I hope he's doing well, but you never know.
Also, I have to just say this. Laura shared her wedding dress, and oh my gosh, it looks so good.
I very suddenly and very really aware that a wedding is happening. Until today, it didn't feel like it was a thing, and then I tried on a big pretty dress, and now I'm just like, I want to be the center of attention, world.
Okay, let's make this episode about Neellith.
Yeah, let's just listen. Okay, let's whatever we're doing, can we just put it on hold and have like a side episode about Neellith and...
Oh my god, we accidentally time travel again, just randomly, to the wedding dimension.
The
wedding
nice.
dimension. Is that like Halloween Town from Nightmare Before Christmas, where they're all like,
This is wedding world, this is wedding world.
No, it's like Halloween Town from the movie Halloween Town. God. It's different.
So my question for you, Laura, is what would Neellith wear on their wedding day? That's something that I was curious about.
have you seen Illithid fashion? It's very like, the film Blade. Everyone's wearing like black leather and a lot of spikes and so forth. It's all very
all of her tentacles would have beautiful lace dangling from them, and then also crystals off of fine, delicate chains. You fools!
I feel like if Neellith had a wedding dress, it would be like... They would look like a late game Final Fantasy character in that they would have like a lot of asymmetry going on.
Oh yes,
and there would definitely be crystals incorporated.
Mm-hmm.
How many belts?
I mean, the reasonable number, 6 or 7.
Well, how Nomura is the dress going to be? That's the.
Oh my god, Lady Uniluska's from when she was being forced to get married, and then you jump off a tower and fly away.
See, I've listened to Pixel Squirt, so I know the being forced to get married thing isn't necessarily a turn off. I know that could be a potential plus in this situation. For
You
You
roleplay that you've been Oh my god, okay, so your fiance ties you to the train tracks. That's your photo. And you have to get married before the train comes.
Gosh. So wait. Well, so this is an interesting one shot we just fell into. So I'm not sure. Am I the train or am I the train tracks for this session here?
This reminds me of the other day I was playing Dishonored 2, and I jumped 6 floors or 6 stories off a building and landed on someone non-lethally, slamming their head into the ground so hard they lost consciousness. And Joe had just turned to me and says, "How come you never do that to me?"
Every time I hear about the energy that you have with Joa, it's hilarious.
Just deadpan, just a real inquiry.
So there's this one line in Cowboy Bebop where Spike says, "I like a woman who can kick my ass," but Laura and I and Stacy found a better extended version.
Oh, that video was so good.
I want you to beat me up so hard I piss my pants. I'm a freak. I'm not normal. It's just like kept going. I want you to crush my head like a watermelon between your thighs. And I was like, holy shit.
I want you to literally murder me.
I want to die.
I don't want to die. I don't want to die pretty. I want to die messy. Okay, can you just do that for me once? Just once, please.
I want my family to be ashamed.
I don't want my mom to identify me.
I want them to pay extra to have how I died covered up.
That's terrible. Okay, we're in the right mindset for what we're about to do, I guess now.
Yay!
Yeah, so let's check in on Nobi at the beginning of this episode, because from here on out, after that, I have literally no idea what's going to happen. Everyone in the town, it's just like in an Elder Scrolls game where you just draw aggro on every guard.
Well, we accidentally killed a chicken.
I got like the inverse where I have like, I'm really worried about how Nobi's going to figure out these star signs, and I actually have a little bit of a plan for fighting the village.
Well, last episode, you rolled, I had made it like a 3, best of 3 basically roll. You got 2. So you have enough to reverse engineer the signs of Nobi, the Tum-Tums, and Drip to an extent that you can convey that information to the Kitsune.
Okay.
You didn't get all 3, so you don't know, you're not like a master of this. You're not confident you could pass like a college level exam on the topic, but you can cobble enough together to turn that information over.
Using the kind of the personality quiz approach where I'm like, how do you respond to these situations? What's happened in your life? So I don't necessarily need the birthdays, right?
Exactly. That's where we got to, is that you couldn't figure out the birthdays, but you could reverse engineer it from personality.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, I think Nobi, in the midst of like figuring like the back and forth about the birthdays, it definitely would have occurred to him that he can literally skip over Kaboom and Kablam, like visiting them, trying to get any information from them, because their birthday and exact place of birth, like, is very known. It was like a few days ago, right? Or like a matter of weeks ago.
Right. Yeah.
Right in the genius's cave or dungeon, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense that you all would have seen the flashbacks. I guess I was just thinking that seeing that, podcast broadcast into your mind, you didn't necessarily be like, yes, Saturday at 9:43. Like it was just images to you. But I definitely can see that argument. But the only people who were there for Basil were Very and Aze, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, Very was there when Aze got struck in the head by the pebble, and the narwhal unicorn was birthed from his scalp,
Oh. Okay.
What?
That's
Then-
I mean, listen, okay, the episode description said Aze gives birth, which made everyone flip their shit when they read it, and I loved it. But yeah, I mean,
Mpreg.
listen, that's to Very would know that information. But like you said, you could also determine the sign through other methods is kind of what's being put out there too. So you got multiple
I
means.
guess it's up to whether I want to go see Basil and do the Hello Magazine quiz to figure out if he's an INTJ, or if I want to go see Very and find out his birthday.
I have to admit that I am biased because I want to hear Laura do the Basil voice and just get more of that character.
I am in support of this as well because Basil needs more screen time, but we need a free Basil. Okay, we need to let Venta nut. We need a free Basil and let Venta nut. Those are 2 main hashtags so far. We got those 2 running right now. So
I think that if that's where we're at, then probably Nobi would be heading down to see Basil. Yeah.
All right, Laura, you are a narwhal unicorn. You see Nobi approaching. All you have really to entertain yourself most of the time is these 2 chucklefuck flumps who are extremely annoying. So maybe that's refreshing for you. How does this feel?
Oh, it's all like this, yeah.
Oh my god, yes!
Yeah. Well, I'm Basil, ain't I?
Yeah, and I put a picture of Basil by Ire Fire in the chat. An incredible art. I love this character.
Oh, yeah, I'm bloody radiant, I am.
yeah, there you go. You got Basil just down to a T there. Yeah,
It's been a while since I've done a nice low voice on this show, yeah. Yeah.
It's like Frank's in the room with me. So Nobi would be like, "Hey, hello. You're Basil, right?"
Oh, yeah, Nobi, right?
Yeah, that's me. I don't think we've met before.
I am aware of you by reputation. It is always lovely to meet someone new that is not these 2 chucklefucks over here.
Have you heard the good news about our Lord and Savior Genius?
Look, I've heard their sales pitch many a time. It is nice to chat to someone who is not trying to pitch me on someone who it literally doesn't exist for another 5 years.
Don't listen to the heretic. Nobi, join us.
I'll check in on that. Maybe a rain check on the worshipping the genius. Basil.
I'm gonna help you. Can I offer you a drink or something?
Oh yeah, what do you got?
Well, I would offer you a beer, but they all got used in whatever the genius's machine thing was.
Yeah, also I'm 5.
There's that too. I don't know how animal years work. I don't know how my own years work. It's a lot. I've got water. Do you want that?
I mean, yeah, that's mostly what I drink. So,
Hell yeah!
thanks. That's my favorite. I was
No animal characters next season. We can't keep doing this to ourselves.
No promises.
You
No
can't stop me.
promises.
You might know since my reputation precedes me, I'm on the Moistwatch, and I just thought I'd do the rounds, check in with everybody, and I've realized that I don't actually know one of the most central, well, geographically at least, central residents of the town. So hey Basil, how's it going?
Oh, it's rather nice of you to check in. I do appreciate the company and not just being left off to the sidelines. You know, I feel like I'm pretty central to the town too. You know, I'm good. I'm good.
Cool. How do you feel about evil?
Evil?
Yeah, light, dark, good and evil.
Not a big fan of evil. Evil's typically not my favourite thing.
Right answer. You're passing with flying colors so far. That's good.
I'm glad. Do I get like a certificate or something at the end of this?
I'm just checking out the new people in town. Gotta check if they're evil. It's probably number 1 priority.
Well, I mean, that does seem like a pretty high priority on the list. Am I passing the test so far?
Well, we don't need to take it so seriously. You know, I'm just shooting the shit. So how you've been in Grendel now for how long? 6 weeks or something?
I mean, you know, I haven't existed terribly long. I keep being told that time will feel shorter when there's more of it, which is weird, but I've been alive my whole life. Yeah.
Wow, that's real. That must be frustrating to not know that information.
I mean, you know, it didn't seem terribly relevant, you know. I just sort of just happened. Now here I am.
Have you do you know much about
No, I feel like Nobi's personal skills are really getting like their biggest test so far. Like he's not. Like, he's really tried to approach this as making a new friend, which is just literally something we've not seen him do.
Right. Oh,
ever.
for sure. Yeah, like the small talk from Nobi has been something he's not deeply practiced in yet. So, absolutely, yeah, the struggle is real.
do you know much about birthdays? No, that's not good. Cosmology? No, hang on. Do you have any hobbies?
Oh, you know what? I do have, you know, a couple of hobbies. You know.
My partner tells me that she likes to kill these two chuckle fucks and you watch. That's your main form of chilling out here.
Well, I mean, is it killing them if they just pop right back up? You know, it's cause...
I mean, she says that she rips them to shreds with her powerful teeth and claws, so...
I mean,
to me, that seems like killing.
I mean, you know, it's violence as theatre. It's like wrestling or something. It's just watching, you know, the performance of it all.
Our pain is never ending. We suffer eternally.
Yeah. Well, until you stop trying to pitch me the genius, I will be getting a little bit of cathartic joy out of it.
I have a small question out of character for Basil. Has Basil decorated their like little stable they've made for themselves in their little corner of the outside of the Genius's workshop? Have they decorated it in any particular way?
That's a question.
Because they can just make whatever they want in there with their mind. That was one of the fun things
Okay.
that Basil has, because that's one of the things that the obelisk can do. And Basil took advantage of that by making a wall, keeping them separated from Kaboom and Kablam, among other things. So
Now, how to trick Basil into creating their accurate star chart with them.
You just have to be like, Sagittarius, create what? See if
I think Basil has created like a fairly comfortable little you know, a construct of like, you know, some nice soft comfy bedding, like a nice little roaring imaginary fire. They've got like a nice little they've got a comfy little setup. I think that it, like, rather than just having the wall between themselves and Kaboom and Kablam now, they have a window so that they can open it and go, I hate you, it's going to be fun to see you torn apart, and then close the window again.
do they have a picture of like? Do they have a picture of themselves and like Ozzy above the fireplace? I was like, oh yep, there's me and Dad, just like casual.
I love the idea that you're like, oh, evil? I hate evil. Hold on, I have to go watch the murder recreationally.
Yeah, that was part of why I was curious what a Basil's alignment is, because just like his life is torturous, and all his entire enjoyment is just watching the two people he lives with be murdered over and over.
I think that given the lack of contrast and that this is all Basil has ever known, I think Basil's probably of the perspective that, I mean, I'm not doing the killing, I'm just watching it from the sidelines, and they're fine afterwards, so it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
This is pretty Sisyphean. Have you heard of the cycle cosmological sign? Does that sound appropriate to you? Does that resonate? Ring any bells? Anything?
I mean, I've heard some of the. Oh God, what was it? Arze mentioned one of them sign things at some point. Yeah.
I think Nobi's kicking around different, like, as I'm saying, like, he's just struggling with the basic idea of, like, how to get information in a way that isn't really, like, utilitarian. Like, a lot of his manipulation of people so far has been, like, this is this person's job, and if I tell them they got to do this, then I can get this. And this is just a person who just exists and does nothing else in town. Yeah.
They're the only one not defined by the profession,
Yeah.
Right.
which is interesting. Because that was a deliberate choice, like in a lot of English-derived cultures, people's last names are like Smith and
Right.
Cooper. It's literally your profession defines your entire family and like status and everything. So.
Right, and that's why Basil is called Basil Unemployed.
Right.
Speaking of all that, insight perhaps to see if you can glean anything from the personality tests you've been reading. That seems like the skill that.
Yeah, that sounds good.
We haven't.
I think that I think that finally trying to get Basil to like actually like basically trick Basil into answering some of the personality test questions. Nobi's like,
So you're trapped here. What do you What would you do if you got out? Would you do?
Well, I mean, if I got out, I'd well, obviously, I'd love to travel. I'd love to just, see somewhere that isn't this one exact spot,
Nobi rolled a 4 on insight, and I gotta like. So it's like there is literally a sign called the Travelers, but I'm just like.
I was literally thinking the exact same thing. You failed so bad,
But
and you
Nobi's
just
just
write
like,
down Traveler.
So I guess maybe the horologist. It's just like goes the opposite direction.
Damn. All right. I think at this point, another thing that happens here is Kaboom and Kablam start getting ornery about not having any attention paid to them, and you get shot by the slingshot, which doesn't hurt but does trigger wild magic. So let's do it.
No.
Let's do it.
Let's get physical. 83. Each creature within 30 feet of you takes 1d10 necrotic damage.
Oh no! How much health do I have?
Basil, you're fine. You're fine.
Okay, 6. I mean, you have unicorn stats. You are fine with 6 damage. But yeah, suddenly like a little stone blasts through Basil's window, hits you in the face, and then everyone suddenly gets violently ill in the whole area.
Basil opens the window, looks at those two, and just goes, "I'm gonna really enjoy next time,
And Nobi goes,
Okay, you fucking know what? Tum-Tums, just fuck him up.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So let's leave it there as the Tum-Tums start punishing Kaboom and Kablam.
I imagine it as like Nobi just utterly stays where he is, carries on talking to Basil, trying to figure out his star chart, and just lets that like he's just like that's his order to his battalion. He doesn't make the slightest effort to fight them himself.
Mm-hmm.
There's the big cartoon dust cloud, like the Tasmanian devil, and the hands flying in out of it.
One of the Tum-Tums becomes very giant when they get by a slingshot, but then immediately shrink down again like 6 seconds later,
The wild magic for create new species and then destroy new species both trigger. A whole race blinks in and out of existence and barely knowing life.
Yeah, so that's all going on. Obviously, that gets a really loving animated version, which takes up the whole episode of that show. But here on the podcast, we have to continue with the other storyline, which is everyone roll initiative.
Oh no.
Really?
Hell yeah. 21.
The duality of man. Really? Hell yeah.
18. Oh no, that means I'm gonna have to go like early.
What did you roll, Mari? What did you roll for your initiative, Mari?
16.
Oz8 rolled a 12 for their initiative. What did villagers roll, Austin?
A 1.
The whole village of Grendel got owned in the initiative rolls.
Let's reset the scene real quick, because the last episode ended in kind of a chaotic cacophony. So you all got
Definitely.
transported to this memory that Oze had of Voya and Laszlo fighting. There was some talk about what to do, and then Kat just triumphantly just strolled up and started questioning Laszlo, which kind of threw the whole thing into chaos. Villagers started stealing the Beyblades. There was like, oh, what do we do? And then Slime thought about history. I believe Mario rolled a 25, which is so good. 29. Christ almighty.
Incredible.
So here's what I was thinking when I said ask him about the sortition, because you get the immediate information that Laszlo is willing to kill to protect this. So Laszlo is this goblin. He's dressed in pink. He holds a wand aloft and fires a fireball directly into Slime. So we're going to roll that damage before we start initiative with Cat. 26 damage. The fireball just hits you square in the face.
Oh my. No, it hits Slime's congealed blob, not Sun, Moon, Stars. Okay.
26 is so much damage.
You do a heroic get down, Mr. President, on Sun, Moon, Stars, and you take the full Kamehameha blast to the face.
Wait, let me describe it. Okay, so the giant spider legs that come off of a blob sack on Sun, Moon, and Stars' back pushes her down and then blocks the attack. And so all of the damage goes to Slime.
Perfect. At this point, everyone in the village is alerted because a fireball just went off. And also, there are more people here than there is normally, because I don't think this is the dead of winter when you've transported back. This is like,
Right.
a slower part of season. So people begin running. It's a chaotic scene. And from the corners of the villages come the villagers of Grendel to defend it. I'm just going to say all 10 of the characters we know and love are here, and they're all going to try to fight this place, fight this team to defend their home. Mm-hmm. They are a little weirded out by what they see, because you all are a motley and strange crew. There's an illithid that they have no context for, so that what appears to be Sun, Moon, Stars, but covered in goo, very upsetting. Someone who looks like an adult version of the kid who just showed up not too long ago. And then a giant lion ant, which they have not seen before. So it's really, they are immediately like, oh my God, we're being invaded, we're being attacked. Like, it's a very gut reaction. Like, they're the barbarians at the gates, the orcs are here.
And the other thing is that the adult version of the kid arrive is dressed kind of like Voya, which is sort of like, well, that's weird.
Yeah, and there's actually a pretty, strong thread in the listenership of like Voya headcanon. I feel weird making any strong proclamations because everyone already has their Voya in their head. So she is dressed with like a big floppy witch hat. She's wearing all kinds of like starry robes. She's wearing like
a t-shirt that says Frankie says relax. Yeah.
2 rings on every finger.
Yep.
Yeah.
The fans already have a Voya in mind, and I don't know if I can mess with it that much now. I feel weird about it.
No, it's okay. I mean, like, I think there's multiple interpretations. They're all valid. My initial thought was like, she's basically Matoya from the Final Fantasy canon. Effectively, it's like what the relationship is in this case. But like, there's multiple interpretations. All of them are great. So we don't need to worry about describing Voya too much more in detail, other than like, there is a reason why she's described as like a figurehead that drew attention to the town and otherwise. So let's get past those details and into how the party deals with everyone attacking them.
For all the Final Fantasy that's been in this episode so far, I want to mention explicitly that I've not played a single Final Fantasy, and I'm getting none of the references. So listeners at home, I see you. The ones everyone else who's utterly lost here. Me and
There's
you,
an
bud.
evil wizard and a big crystal save the world. Done. You've played every Final Fantasy.
Damn. It's really cut to the heart of it. Yeah, now all I'm saying is there's a witch goblin and a jester goblin. It's really that simple. Yeah. Kat, you're up first. What do you do?
Classic lesbian dynamic. So so what I've been thinking is how does Kat, she is inherently a sweetheart and loves everyone in the village and doesn't want that to start happening. And also, her approach immediately to Laszlo was just to try and tell the truth. Like, we're in a simulation, nothing matters, tell us what's up. Because the deception in the Dream Team entirely comes from Nobi. So, check this one out. Try this one on for size. Kat is going to go straight to Pastor Very.
Oh, no.
And try to convince Very of the truth of the situation.
All right. Yeah, roll persuasion. Very is Interesting. I didn't see this coming. Audience, we really do not plan even a single thing ahead of time.
So, 15.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, okay. So what do you say to Varys? So Varys is just this big pig priest. He's wearing his little frock. He sees a giant fucking lion come bounding up towards him with like little skittering ant legs. Or I mean, still very big skittering ant legs, frankly.
Yeah. Frighteningly big ant legs, actually.
And so how do you, with a 15, make him go from about to poop his entire pants to listening to you?
Pastor, your name is Very. Do not poop your whole pants. Listen to me. You love the lords, and you live in an igloo, and you sit backwards on chairs. I am from the future, and I need you to cast Zone of Truth on my friends so we can prove that we are telling at least what we believe is the truth, so that we do not have to fight everyone in the village.
All right, yeah. So I think Very is going to seriously take that into consideration. He's not a violent man by character, so
Right.
he takes that excuse not to fight. But it's going to take a little bit more than the 6 seconds that round takes for everyone to be convinced. So let's move on to Neellith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't expect it to solve everything.
Right, so while that's going on, Neellith is going to attempt to minimize the rest as much other combat as possible to limit the outnumbering we've got going on. Perfect chance for hypnotic pattern to try and minimize some of the sheer numbers we're fighting.
Hilarious. All right, so I'm going to roll wisdom, let's see here, 11 times, 10 for the main villagers, and then Voya and Laszlo makes 12, and then Very already has lost the will to fight. So, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Holy motherfucking shit, 11. How much? Like 2 of those save? I rolled 9, 9, 6, 12, 29, 8, 4, 4, 2, 14, 17.
The 29 and the 17 will be alright, but everyone else is hypnotized.
Oh my good, sweet, merciful Jesus in heaven. Who is still fighting? I'm going to say, okay, here's how this works. We'll describe your hypnotic pattern, and then I'll tell you why this works this way.
I think my justification is that Neellith is doing the same tactic as usual, the floating, mystical, animated foods, but is doing so with everyone's favourite foods, because from the future, Neellith knows what everyone likes.
And it's okay because they're not real, so they have no rights.
And I think the only 2 people that she wouldn't know who their favorite foods are.
No, here's what I'm thinking is, okay, first of all, I spent the last 24 hours so psyched for every single villager to get a cool combat turn. I was like, yeah, they're going to do this and this.
But Austin, if you want to stop and tell us about all the cool shit you had planned, we're happy to sit and listen for a bit.
Well, oh my god, we can do the end of the Twilight thing where it doesn't actually happen, but it all happens in Neelith's head.
Uh-huh. I actually do know what you're talking about. Yeah, where he rips his head off.
Yeah, so like it didn't actually happen. We could, but like in Neelith's head, we can do a combat scenario that didn't really happen, just so you can have that.
No, this is good though. So everyone is like, "What? How does this illithid know that I love burrito?" They're just like very taken aback by this, except for Laszlo, who's smoking wand. It looks like it's charging up another fireball, and Hale, who just says, "Y'all, this is malarkey. Let's get in there, whoop their asses."
Fuck yeah, Hale. You fuck them up, man. I like, listen, okay, listen, okay. I say we all just lay down our arms and just let Hale go to fucking town here, because I'm here for Hale energy, all right?
But Hale is not here for malarkey, because he is the Joe
big Joe
Biden
Biden fan.
NPC, yeah.
Sorry, I cut you off. I got so excited about no malarkey.
Same joke, yeah.
But these rolls are fucking bananas. Look at how many fucking failures this was. Incredible. This is like yesterday when Neellith tried to go swimming.
Yep. and like you can't, once again, you can't even blame the bonus on this, because most of the rolls were just single digits. It's just, yeah.
Look, if I've got to have a session where I get bitten in half and can't do anything, there's got to be a session where I am an unstoppable god. You know, the universe has to balance out.
The funny thing is this is exactly why hypnotic pattern is very useful for situations like this. It's just not useful in every situation, you know?
Yeah. Oh no, it's also why I'm looking at all those rolls and going, oh god, you were totally justified in finding ways to force me not to use that spell. That spell's overpowered.
All right, Aze. Laszlo and Hale are the only ones who immediately seemed invested in kicking you apart.
Slime is next.
Oops.
Yeah.
Slime, your turn.
God.
Sorry.
No, I'm just playing.
Oh my god, Mari.
I would like to get my hit points back and cast Vampiric Touch, 4th level.
Oh, sick. All right, you attacking Laszlo?
Yes. And I do...
Well, you roll the attack roll
That's
first.
to see if I hit. Yeah.
Yep.
12.
No, 12 does not hit armor class.
I'm upset. So my big spider legs run over and I trip on Sun Moon Stars' legs and we just fall down and it's just embarrassing. Like it would have been cool.
Too many legs.
That burns a slot still, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the vampiric touch is like once you cast it, you can keep touching. You could just keep touching. No one can stop you from touching. It stays.
I'm literally gonna die if you guys don't stop him.
We can fight in a different time, Hale. For now, we need to talk about things. And then he will turn and he will cast a 4th level Essence of the Cycle centered on slime. So like this mystical like tree starts sprouting up around slime to provide healing to them while they're in that position there.
Oh, thank you.
And the initial healing that it will do is 11, so you get healed for 11 hit points. And when you start your turn in there, you'll get extra healing there as well, slime. So that's what he does for his bonus action. And then for Aze's main action, he will, despite the distaste he has for Laszlo, run over, kneel down by slime, and use Dignify to heal them further for an additional 21. Casting that as a 3rd level spell, and that'll be Aze's turn. So now Aze is right next to slime in front of Laszlo, after he's spent all his time just healing up slime and trying to give him some protection from, what Laszlo was about to do.
Thank you for saving my love from the inevitable death that would have destroyed me forever.
We'll worry about that after this situation has been dissolved.
So now it's the enemy's turn. So Laszlo and Voya look at you, Aze, and obviously some kind of recognition flickers across their face because you do look like, you know, an older version of the hobgoblin who just showed up in town and asked to be her protege. And at this, I think Voya says, I'm gonna get Aze to safety, and runs off, leaving Laszlo to take care of this. Laszlo just kind of looks back to you and says, I'll take care of this, and casts Fireball on both Aze and Slime.
So that's gonna be a dexterity saving throw to try to dodge it, I take it?
Sure is. Yeah, I've been charging his wand for a while. You've seen it. Here comes the Fireball.
Ozzy rolls a 12 for his dexterity saving throw, so probably not good enough.
Do I roll as well?
Yes.
5.
You both take 23 damage as you get fucking annihilated on the spot. Laszlo seems to be an incredibly powerful magic user, which is unusual for goblins, as has been noted before. Nilbogism, a very complicated concept in goblin culture that commands a lot of respect. The only other person who's going to go on enemy's initiative is Hale, who just says, I think to Neellith, because you did this sick hypnotic pattern, and just says, "Nice trick, hombre. You want to see mine?"
Not really.
Too bad, muchacho! And he opens his mouth and fires a dragonborn breath weapon at you. Yeah. Constitution saving throw.
18 on Constitution.
Nice.
Okay. as an aside, after that, when Ozzy gets hit by the fireball, the tree that was on Slime like bursts into flames and dissipates off as he loses concentration on his spell.
No. Okay.
Oops, that's not. I don't know why I added one there. Neellith, you take 21 damage as Hale opens his mouth and a burst of plasma comes out. This is like superheated. It's not fire because purple is a combination of red and blue. Red dragon is fire. Blue dragon is lightning. So fire plus lightning, plasma. If you think of the beam Shin Godzilla uses in that film.
Shin Godzilla fucking slaps so hard.
It's incredible. I'm imagining this entire
The
fight.
best Godzilla film, head and shoulders. So fucking good.
This entire fight scene has "Who Will Know" from Shin Godzilla playing. It's just an incredible song. But yeah, it starts off as like a really wide fire, and then it narrows and narrows and narrows until it's just this beam of plasma and just sweeps it across you, Neellith, and you are burned for 21 damage and thrown down by the superheated blast.
Could have been worse. Neelith's had her fair share of burns in the kitchen.
All right. So now we're back to Kat. You see everyone is still in their hypnotic pattern stupor, although you do need to make a concentration not to lose the pattern.
Do you know you can make plasma in your microwave?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
With a grape.
Yeah, you cut a grape in half, you get a little plasma.
We're back to Kat. Are you still having this conversation with Very? Because I think now this is when it goes into action.
Yeah, very, very much so. So, Kat would now be imploring Very to not vouch for them exactly, because there's not really any reason that Very would do that, but to interrupt the action to try and stop and actually clear things up. Do I need to persuade again, or can I just say that?
No, I think with a successful persuasion and then the round of time for it to sink in and Very to think, he's going to use if you're spending your turn on this, he will with you go to stand in front of Laszlo so that Laszlo doesn't hit Slime and Ozzy with another fireball, and he like spreads his arms out and he's like, "Mercy, child, please."
I think Kat would go.
We do not all have to fight. We can use the truth. We can use a zone of truth, and we can explain the truth.
So Neellith, it's your turn. You see them this conference happening. Very Kat, Laszlo, Slime, Ozzy is coming to an head, but you're kind of dueling Hale. What do you do?
And you have to picture Hale with Shin Godzilla's goofy fish eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, of course.
Only while doing the breath does he have those fish eyes. But yeah.
Should Laura get like a plus whatever to all their roles because they're gonna get married? The answer is yes. Special pre-wedding buff.
What you need is to get a bunch of little trains to bomb to all run into Hale's legs at the same time, and then a bunch of concrete trucks to pour concrete into his mouth.
Mm-hmm. Is the coagulant, which they completely fuck up the physics of because they said that coagulant will lower his body temperature.
Yeah.
But if it destroys his heating, he would overheat.
Yeah.
It's the opposite movie. What are you thinking?
Does Neellith have a spell where she could just like serve a really spicy dish on Hale to do damage that way, or to like, you know?
Neellith is going to attempt the non-violent response to this. No idea whether it's going to work, and is going to try and play into the Really? Do you need to resort to plasma breath, or can we, talk this out like the smart, intelligent, very clever people we are?
So you're also trying to use persuasion, basically like what Kat did on Hale. So you want to roll persuasion?
Yeah, I'm going to attempt a similar method, but just trying to be like, hey, you're so smart. You don't need to brute force this problem. You're so smart. 14.
No, I was looking for 15, which is also what Kat hit.
As a reaction, Ozzy will invoke a benefic, roll a d6 to add to that.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, then you automatically succeed. You don't even really need to roll it. But that's a 66.
You didn't even say a D66. You just rolled 66.
I rolled exactly a 1.
That's a 15.
Fun story. More than once in the past, I've accidentally done that and caught myself doing it and being like, "Oh, I rolled a natural 20." No, I rolled 20. I didn't roll a D20.
Well, that's what the website's for. It's to roll 20.
I don't think you're prepared for that, Austin. You're not prepared for Neellith rolling an 80 on their persuasion check there, I see. So, geez. Wow.
Because the thing about Hale is that even though he's a historian, he's not super flattered by people talking about how smart he is. He's a rowdy rough boy.
This tracks to most of the historians I know, honestly.
Yeah. If you want to postpone this duel to another time, we can do that, fella. We don't need to do all this puffing up of ourselves. Come on.
I was going to say he was going to offer to arm wrestle Neellith in exchange to stop fighting.
I didn't know that was an option. Cool, that works really well for me, actually. We'll fight, one-on-one in a bit. Cool.
All right, I'm kind of I got some artifact business I got to do until like noon, and then at high noon I think we can duel.
I am sure I will still be here then.
All right, so next up is Slime and Oze. I assume you don't do any combat stuff.
Well, I need to suck someone's blood.
No, you don't.
Oh.
You don't need to, but I also think that but Very is in front of us, between us and Laszlo, so like we have someone blocking Laszlo from directly attacking us at the moment.
Okay. All right.
Cat is too. Cat definitely came over with Very.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the way this is right now is Hale and Neellith are off to the side having their duel. Everyone else is kind of gathered on this other side, except because all the villagers are hypnotized, like in the background. Laszlo's on one side, Slime and Oze is on the other, Very and Cat are between them. Is this all correct?
Well, I just need to heal, but I can't heal without sucking someone's body juices, so let me think.
Same.
Hey, since you threw fire at me, can I suck some of your body juice? It seems fair.
Absolutely not. Laszlo,
No?
Laszlo's... I think Laszlo just makes like a really grossed out face and is like, "What? You're just disgusting. What are you talking about?"
Well, you threw fire at me, and I need to heal, so I feel like it's fair that I suck some life force out of you.
How powerful is Cat's ongoing persuasion to Very? Could Cat be like,
You should diffuse the tension by letting my mother suck your juices.
What if I rolled persuasion with a bonus from Cat's persuasion?
So if this is the conversation that's happening, I think Very turns and casts Cure Wounds on Slime. He is a cleric.
Oh.
Everyone's like, "Let me suck your juices." No, suck his juices. Get those juices in me.
look, time travel does weird stuff, okay? It's,
Thank you very much. One day you will be a part of me too.
So Laszlo sees Very turn around and start to heal the disgusting slime monster, which just rolled up on the village and knows about his plan to rig the sortition.
Don't do it.
And so, do what? I hear you saying do it.
I said don't do it, but now you're gonna do it.
Oh, don't do it.
Oh, God.
I'm gonna do it.
No.
Laszlo casts Fireball on everyone, including Very.
Holy fucking shit.
Oh, well,
All right, I rolled a 12.
Oz rolls a 20.
47?
What the fuck?
Is that...
That kills me.
Yeah, that's 68.
Your roll. Now, do you want your dice to be exploding? Is that intentional there, Austin?
Where did I click? No, I accidentally clicked compounding dice. Never mind.
Yeah.
26.
There you go.
I was like, what the fuck, Austin? Why do you keep doing this?
I accidentally clicked Shadowrun style in my dice, and I was feeling cyberpunk. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's where that 9, 14, and 11 came from. So I'm just like,
Yeah.
whew.
Very is set on fire and goes down in a smoking heap, dying, not dead.
Fucking hell.
Okay, good.
I held off on saying, like, oh, damn, if Laszlo turns out to just fucking murk Very now. Because I was like, if that happens, I shouldn't say that.
Well, it looks like Laszlo is willing to take this to the grave. It seems so. That's cool. In any case, that's some damage.
Yeah, what do you do? Cat, I guess you're up. Also, you took. Yeah, did you roll for that? You're in the blast too, Cat.
Oh yeah. It's right there. 12. I failed. I took it. I took the whole entire damage. I'm just sorry. This is it's a little while since I've done the barbarian combat properly. Can I only attack twice during rage, or can I do it?
Nope. You can attack twice. You can attack twice just because you're a level 5+ barbarian.
Fantastic. So yeah, I think Cat would now just lunge. It's just a big old lunge. Maybe the flavor on the double attack is like one paw and the other paw.
That's all the flavor you need.
27 and a 15.
27 hits.
15 damage.
Yeah, you slash Laszlo just like right across the face with your giant lion paw. And for some reason, your bladed claws, which are like, huge, they're like steak knives.
Hell yeah.
Serious paw.
Fuck
Don't
yes.
get as much penetration as you think they should
Fuck
on a
no.
goblin.
God damn it.
Which is, goblins are like 4-ish feet tall or something. It felt like rhino hide or something. Very strange.
Yeah, you should really get more penetration with a goblin.
Ideally. So a bonus action that I can take is my Storm Aura Tundra. So I get a 10 feet aura effect when I start my... Oh no, it's only if I start my rage. And I can't start my rage because Nobi isn't here. And never mind. Never mind.
All right. Neellith, you're standing to the side with Hale. You both like see this huge explosion engulf all your friends. What do you do?
Do you mind if I go help my friends out? It feels like they're not having an honorable duel over there, and I should go let them know that that's an option on the table.
All right, amigo. Yeah, I want to see what's going on over here too. I'm charging up my beam again, so you try any funny business, I'm gonna light your butt up.
Please don't. I don't want to be calamari.
You'll be delicious as hell, partner. Get a little dipping sauce. That's the stuff.
Jesus Christ.
I'll never see you the same again.
I'll dunk your little booty right in the sauce.
I don't know whether this is a threat or if you're hitting on me.
Yes.
I'm mercurial. Ask anybody, they'll tell you. Slime, it's your turn.
I'm casting Vampiric Touch because obviously we can't trust anyone with anyone's juices, so I'm taking the juices. And it's a continuation of the last cast because all I've done is try to talk and get slammed with fire. So.
Specifically, whose juices are you taking?
I'm taking the fireman's. Fucking crit!
Oh,
Eat this.
you are.
Eat. It's a crit +9. It's 29. I want to suck this man dry.
I have a new ringtone. No, my juices!
Exactly.
You roll double the dice for it, yeah.
30.
All right, so you just ram your spider legs into his torso and start sucking out juices?
And I heal for that.
Yeah, it's a very picante juice, I'll say.
You heal for 15 when you suck 30 in this case.
Yeah, take that, old man. Sucking you dry.
There's a lot of penetrating and sucking in this episode.
Well, okay, so let me describe it. So, one of Slime Moonstar's horrible nightmare spider legs jabs into his abdomen, and then through that, the sack of slime is pushed into his abdomen and then digested his insides and then sucked back up into the slime sack. That is still connected to the Sun Moonstar's mouth.
Nice.
Aze burns one of his wild shapes to get the starry form of the cycle on his body. So the leaf and tree forms on his arms. He stands up, arms extend, the mechanical compass like star map he has spins, a large image of a leaf and tree expand from it, and a giant like barrier shell expands from him as he casts Mass Dignify, which is basically Mass Cure Wounds, to heal everyone around him. So everyone who is in range gets healed 27 plus. So plus 1. Everyone around him gets healed for 36 damage. And that includes Very.
Oh, that's so much dignity.
Yeah. So basically, everyone just gets healed by that much around him as he just sort of stares Laszlo down and says, "It would be much more beneficial if we simply talk about this, Laszlo."
No, thank you. You all have to die now. It is Laszlo's turn. He casts Crown of Madness on Hale. You see around his purple dragonborn head, a crown begins to weave itself into existence made out of magic. It is like a spiked crown of thorns made of metal that digs into his head. Hale's eyes roll back in his head. He opens his mouth and it plasma beams everyone.
Criminy.
I guess except for Neellith, who's walking next to you. Constitution saving throw as now hail fires on the collected party.
That would be a 14 from Aze.
18.
18.
22 damage, 11 to people who saved. Very is still kind of face down on the ground, even though he is alive because of your mass healing. He has not really gotten back into the fight for roleplay reasons.
Sure. Fair enough. Yeah.
So Hale is now under Laszlo's control. And we're back to Cat.
Okay. I'd love to say that there's something really smart I could do right now, but that is not how it works. So I'm going to hit him a couple more times.
Let's go. 15 is not going to do it?
13, no!
And neither.
God dang it.
Yeah, I think you start rushing with your claws, and he's dancing around you, kind of giggling to himself. It's extremely jester vibes, deliberately. Just like, hee, can't touch me! And just like rolling around you like a gymnast and just not getting hit.
Oh, you suck.
Now we're back to Neellith.
I'm gonna use up I'm gonna use up another polymorph.
Is a kitsune an option on that list?
I've been looking for something in that variety. I'm like, we've got saber-toothed tiger. I don't think there's anything fox related.
I mean, we can always reflavor. You can always like use a thing from the book and say it's something else.
If you don't mind me reflavoring, let's say saber-toothed tiger because big sort of cattish thing. Foxes, I know foxes aren't in the cat family, I don't think, but yeah. So let's reflavor a saber-toothed tiger as I say that there's no.
I don't care about the biology of it, but foxes are cats in the body of dogs.
Okay, so Neellith is going to use polymorph. By the book, this is saber-toothed tiger, but in flavor, Neellith is attempting to turn into a facsimile of the kitsune.
Question: do you have face tentacles?
Kitsune are shapeshifters. It's allowed.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to police the rules. I was just curious.
Yeah. I think there's going to be less tentacle flavor than Neellith usually applies. I think that Neellith is going to be like, aha, I'm trying to fool you somewhat and give you a visceral reaction to a thing you might recognize.
Convince you that I am you.
Yeah, but Neellith, really not good at not having tentacles, so, like, they're still kind of there.
Just get really defensive if they point it out. Like, I was trying a new look. Why do you have to, like, put it down?
All right. So that's your turn, Neellith, and then I guess it's Slime's turn.
All right. I'm just going to continue to suck fluids. Oh, wait. Do I have to... Oh, I didn't take damage.
Well, you did take damage. You took 11 damage last time because even though you dodged, resisted Hale's thing, you still take 11 half damage. So that's 11 damage
okay.
you took.
I'm sorry. So do I have to roll Constitution? Yes,
Yeah.
I do.
Constitution saving throw, just real quick.
Boop. Didn't do it, so we're going to do something else.
Well, you can just cast the same spell again. You just have to use another spell slot to do it again.
No, I don't want... I want to do something cool.
Then do it. You do something.
I want to cause fear. No, wait. They probably have a lot of wisdom. No, I'm doing it anyway.
Mm-hmm. So you cast Cause Fear?
Mm-hmm.
So I cannot afford to be afraid, so Laszlo waves his wand and casts Counterspell.
You can't just, like, God DM it.
No, it's a real spell. You can take it too.
Okay. I get scared.
No.
How is this going to work?
It just
Counterspell
deactivates your spell.
Yeah, counterspell just means the spell doesn't happen. So
Yeah.
Yes. You attempt to interrupt a creature in the process of casting a spell. If the creature is casting a spell of third or lower, the spell fails and has no effect.
He just swats it away.
Yeah, Laszlo just does look like a tricky little wrist, like a sassy motion. Like, enough of that. Get that out of here.
Aze is obviously frustrated with this, and so he will resort to an old classic moonbeam / lunar interjection centered on Laszlo.
All right. Let me double check.
Constitution saving throw from Laszlo's part.
So Laszlo rolled a 9. You may see I rolled with disadvantage. Do you want to read Moonbeam?
Yes. I'll read the operative thing here. A shape changer makes its saving throw with disadvantage. If it fails, it also instantly reverts to its original form and cannot assume a different form until it leaves the spell's light.
Neellith was right. Neellith was right.
Well, so unfortunately I rolled like shit, and Laszlo takes 7 radiant damage from the lunar interjection. But if there is a form that Laszlo has that's other than the Nilbog, he changes into it immediately.
So from the portal above the mountain, a luminous beam of light streaks down and hits the little goblin in the back, punching a hole through his disguise, which reveals a beautiful crimson fur inside of his little goblin body, which he shrugs off like a bad costume into the snow to reveal a resplendently gorgeous nine-tailed fox.
Whoa. Holy shit. Laszlo was the kitsune?
Neellith was right. Neellith was right.
Aze just sort of stares down this kitsune and says, "So that's why you set me on fire those few times."
Fire is my specialty. And just smiles the way foxes smile, which is just what
Adorably.
a galling little bastard in a good way.
It's their nature. You can't get mad for a few fire spells on your face from a kitsune.
Aze just sort of just stares down the kitsune, and it's just like, "For 20 years, this has been your true form, hasn't it?"
Interesting. You have anger in your voice. Do you want to roll intimidation to get more information? Because I think the kitsune is just going to mock you otherwise.
I mean, yeah, Aze's not good at intimidation, but he will attempt to roll it here. That's a 14. I will, if that's not enough, I will tap into something to save face.
Yeah.
And get a bonus. That would be a bonus 3, maybe 4 if Sun, Moon, Stars counts.
They're just one character.
Yeah, so that's a bonus. So that's a 17 on his intimidation attempt.
Yeah, I was looking for a 15, so that succeeds. And I think the kitsune is taken aback by your shaking anger a little bit and says, 20 years? No, I've only... What? You must have me confused.
I don't have you confused with anyone, Laszlo. I think you can tell by the way I look. You know exactly who I am and why I know who you are.
No, I really don't. I'm the defender of this village, and you're some kind of invader? And a vanguard for an army? I'll lay down my life for Grendel. I'm not afraid of you.
I guess the Aze's follow-up question is like, are you actually Laszlo?
Not for very long. Laszlo hurt a member of the village, so I took over his duties.
Who did Laszlo hurt?
Why is this any of your business? You're a stranger. You're an outsider. Leave now.
Hey,
He is Aze.
I'm gonna interject. He's Arze from 20 years in the future. We're all people who have tried to keep Grendel safe 20 years from now, and we're trying to understand exactly what we're keeping it safe from.
I am the protector of Grendel. I do not need you.
Oh, all right. We should go. I didn't know that. Why are we here?
You're a protector of Grendel from the shadows with mysterious motives we don't know or understand. It would help to know what you're trying to do and why.
I protect Grendel from people like Laszlo. We do not have a justice system here. I take care of things behind the scenes so no one else has to dirty their hands.
Oh!
Let's say there was one
20 years from now.
at some point, 20 years from now. What would you do? Would you feel out of place?
I don't know what you're talking about. If you're not here to destroy the village, you need to leave. I've answered your questions.
I have more questions as well.
Aze, at the very least, will repeat his question. Who did Laszlo hurt?
A goblin inventor, someone dear to the town, who I would give my life to protect.
The genius.
Did you kill Laszlo?
I guess there's no point in denying it. I'd kill for this village.
And you're keeping up this facade for Voya's sake, aren't you?
Of course. The village could never be in safer hands.
Look, I'm just gonna outright say this because, as I understand this, I don't think that this is actually happening. And when we go back to the future, this conversation never happened. I think that's right, right?
Yep.
Yep. Okay. For years, there's been a conspiracy in Grendel in our future about maintaining specific people in power because seemingly some very specific threat is posed to Grendel if the wrong people get into power.
Even if Voya isn't governor, Voya will always be governor.
Voya will not live forever.
I think the Kitsune starts summoning fireballs at the end of each of his tails and just says, I'm working on it.
Aze will then ask, do you have any concerns or problems with the young one that is living with Voya now?
You already told me that's you. She's wasting your time. She's going to rule forever. She doesn't need you to be her protege. She doesn't need an apprentice.
Does she care about him?
Oh my god.
I think the 9 fireballs on his tails reach their maximum size. I'm trying to avoid. I'm trying to hold back from what this character would do, which is start fucking incinerating people.
I just want you to know that I care about the well-being of this village as much as anyone. This is the only home that I know of. Whether or not I'm with Voya, whether or not anyone trusts me, I need to do whatever I can to help protect Grendel and help protect my home. I want you to know that our goals are in alignment. We are not opposed to each other.
If you cared about this village, you would leave and never return.
Is it so hard to just tell us what's going on? Answer a basic question so we can understand what you're trying to do.
Literally nothing is going on yet, though, from his perspective. Him and Voya are like going to rig the sortition, but like anything else you think is going on, he doesn't know about yet.
Yeah, but he's planning to make Voya live forever for some purpose, and they're planning to rig the sortition. Why? What is the end goal?
I mean, he said he's working on it. He doesn't have it figured out yet. And because Voya will be governor forever, she's the best person to be governor. He's madly in love with her.
Yeah, and the why is simply to protect Grendel. Is effectively, as far as I can read, what the rationale is being given. Whether or not that is a sufficient rationale I think that's the read that Ozzy's getting from.
Do you feel we've gotten gotten the information we can get if literally, like, from this point in the past they just don't know?
So you're suggesting we hop forward to a little bit further forward?
Yeah, in response to, like, him saying, like, if you cared, you would leave. Cat would just be like,
Okay, bye.
and start, like, going to find the Beyblade.
Yeah, so they're like scattered over the village, and people are starting to shake themselves out of the hypnotic pattern. And just these strangers just come by and collect their weird metal tops and slink back to the dump with them. And they're like, "What the fuck?" But they will soon cease to exist. So I guess there's only so much empathy we can really wring out of them.
I have a question about the dump.
Yep.
Are the gears there?
Yeah, the gears are sticking up out of the ground.
Yeah,
So they've just... Okay, all right.
the machine has been here for quite a while. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering, basically.
So yeah, if you all are ready to leave, you can leave. What do you want to teleport to? I've given you such carte blanche on this. I was worried that it would be too easy, but I'm finding out it's actually pretty difficult.
I have a thought that Arze might be able to help us with.
Uh-huh.
The day that Voya disappeared. Because I feel like that's going to be a day of great relevance to this.
Oh, jeez. Oh, no.
My thought was it might be relevant because the Kitsune is trying to make Voya live forever. Presumably that's the day whatever happened.
Ozzy has a counter offer when that's... So make the offer in character. Ozzy will have a response in the counter.
Okay. So, yeah, do we just jump forward to whenever Voya disappeared? Because presumably that's whenever the Kitsune did whatever they're trying to do?
The day that Voya left, I don't know how relevant that would be for understanding the Kitsune or Laszlo's, in quotes, motives. But I do remember the day that, well, the Kitsune vanished. And I'm not sure what might have caused it or why. But perhaps something happened at that moment that will give us insight into how the sortition has been going, why the Kitsune would leave if they had no reason to.
Then tell us what to imagine.
Aze will proceed to describe, like, the day that, quote, Laszlo disappeared from Grendel, because... as noted in the conversation that Neellith had with, I think, Potter, there was just a day that Laszlo just was gone. They left for some reason.
Yeah. So once again, you all take your positions inside the Beyblades. They all start spinning. Purple lightning starts coming out. You're all imagining this day, not too long ago. I'm specifically not using, specific years because I don't want to confuse the audience who has a hard enough time keeping track of our bullshit. But when this, the Kitsune, we'll just say for clarity, the Kitsune left the village before Voya under mysterious circumstances, and no one really knows why. So you're all trying to imagine this as the purple lightning encases you, and you get that, shocked feeling. But as this is happening, I want to say with the highest passive perception, Aze, you see on the other side of the lightning a figure standing in the dump looking at you all. Very out of place. You've never seen anything quite like it. I think the closest you've seen is a good neighbor, which is to say it is a being of metal, some kind of metallic humanoid, but not like the Genius's gears and pistons and like very steampunk aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
This is sleek. This is like Apple, iPod, some kind of really weird metallic humanoid. And you can't get a great look at it before the lightning fully consumes you all and time folds again. And it wasn't there when you all walked into the dump.
Mm-hmm. It showed up as we were exiting this time into the next time.
Exactly.
Interesting.
And so once again, The party folds through time forward and ends up in the dump. This time, I think in the middle of a hailstorm. Everyone is immediately buffeted. Let's just do flavor damage here. 2 damage. Just chunks of ice start wailing on you. Nobody is out on the town. It seems to be like in the middle of winter. Everyone's inside. What do you do?
Ouch.
Yeah.
So, question. So up until this time, were Ozzy, Laszlo, and Voya all living under the same roof until Laszlo left?
Yeah.
Okay, so Ozzy will propose, quick, we should hurry over to, well, my home and get a better view of things from there.
I have a question. We already wrapped the last past Grendel scene, so I held off to not confuse things right in the middle of things, but you said all the villages were there. Did Neellith come later than all this stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, so there wasn't a duplicate Neellith in this.
No.
Okay, good.
Austin did make a
Wait,
point of
where's
saying
Sun, Moon,
that.
Stars?
No, Sun, Moon, well, we mean where Sun, Moon, Stars?
Okay, I can answer questions. Neellith and Slime showed up shortly after that scene would have taken place.
This time around, a bit later, there will be duplicates of Slime, Sun, Moon, Stars, and Neellith.
I just thought Sun, Moon, Stars would want to try to have a 3-way with herself.
I mean, that might be true. I just don't think the mood was right. I think the vibes were kind of off.
Yeah, she was hypnotized, so it's you can't.
Right, but you get a second shot now.
I like where your head's at. Yeah.
And with slime?
Okay, so I'm not saying not to think about that, Mari. I know that's who you are. Let's just let me answer this specific question. Yes, now in this later time travel scene, there is another Neellith and another slime.
Cool, I'm glad I asked.
So Ozzy will propose going to his home, Voya's home, the center of Grendel's center of cosmology, whatever it is, because it's likely that that's where they might be able to see where the Kitsune and Voya and everything else kind of play out.
Yeah, can we roll stealth for the party? Because basically what you're doing is a stakeout, or kind of that, the Grand Theft Auto mission where you have to stay away from the person you're tailing and not get too close, but you also can't lose them.
Crit baby, 21.
Well, that is, what was that roll with disadvantage there? Well, Ozzy rolled a botch in any case.
Oops.
Incredible.
12. We got a crit and a botch going on.
11.
All right.
Couple of just above averages.
Cat is a silent shadow.
All right. So the party succeeds, but we got a botch and a crit. So I think how this works is that you're following up. You sneak up to the house. You hear Voya and Laszlo arguing, and Voya is like, "Absolutely not. Completely unacceptable." And Laszlo's like, "I'm doing this for you." And there's this arguing, and you're all hiding, crouched outside the window, and then not little, but younger Ozzy.
Younger
Ozzy slams the back door and leaves, and is like, "You're not even my real dad." Doesn't want to be there. And I think how this works is the botch is that Ozzy is going to run into Ozzy, but Kat, with your incredible stealth, you can actually follow Laszlo quickly enough because Laszlo / the Kitsune leaves the house, leaves the conservatory, also in a huff from a different door, and you are this perfect ninja, tracker, and you can follow that. But Ozzy has to deal with Ozzy first.
Mm-hmm. So which side do you want to deal with first? You want to deal with Ozzy and Ozzy at this point?
Yeah, sure.
Just knock him out.
Just knock him out.
Just kill him.
Nothing matters.
Just kill
There's no
him.
consequences in the past. Murder yourself.
Just kill him, then you can't raise the alarm.
You know what? That is true because it's a pocket and they're not real.
Excellent work, 47.
It's me, Ozzy. I have the deepest voice. What are you doing here, bigger Ozzy?
I've got such a low voice, I'm Ozzy.
Ozzy's voice broke the other way in puberty.
Ozzy just says, Ozzy will just say, this will all make sense in time, hopefully, but try to find ways to enjoy every day and enjoy your time in Grendel. Okay?
My mom's dying. She's very old.
There'll come a time where you will help her with that. When the request is made, follow through with it.
What's that? There's a screaming blade just tearing ass through the center of town.
Something that I need to gather. If you're not busy with anything, would you mind helping me gather those up for a moment?
Sure. Can you teach me to talk like you? Your voice is so cool.
Sure. I can do that.
Honestly, I'm just projecting. I'm insecure. Skitch has a cooler voice than me. I'm sorry.
I love your voice, Austin.
Oh, thank you.
Just the like we didn't get to see babyface Ozzy when he was like the biggest fucking dork that no one likes, and now he's in that transitionary period where it becomes kind of cool, but he needs that last push by older Ozzy to fully realize, become the cool character in my mind. That's always the coolest, you know. Anyways, so Neellith and Slime see Ozzy and Ozzy walk off to gather the Beyblades while talking about stuff.
Yeah, I was thinking everyone else can gather up the Beyblades while Kat has this sneaking encounter, because you follow the Kitsune in Laszlo disguise through the snowy streets of Grendel. You don't know where he's going. Like the hail is, just really coming down. Like no one else is out. It's like the perfect night for some Kitsune shenanigans to happen. And you
Quietly to myself, but I have a perfect stealth because I rolled a crit.
Mm-hmm.
Ouch.
Colonel, ouch.
Colonel, this is a
I'm trying to
neurochemical
follow
mission.
the Kitsune. But this hail is like dummy thick.
Oh, I just realized something about my own improv, which is the hail is coming down fiercely, and you find out where the Kitsune is going, which is Hales.
Oh, shit.
Fuck.
Look at you being a great DM.
That was a complete coincidence. I just thought, what's a cool weather effect for this scene? It's a dark night. The hail's coming down. There's no witnesses on the street, or there wasn't when this actually happened. But now there's Kat. You see the Kitsune open the door to Hale's tiny museum/library. It's from the outside just a little shitty shack, but inside it's fucking huge. It could fit every other building inside of it. The goblin goes in and never comes out.
So Hale's the Kitsune now.
And now you've solved the mystery.
Oh, beans. Dang. Nice. Okay.
Oh no. Does that mean actual Hale is dead? Oh no.
I'm just trying to think if Kat does anything here. With the stealth, would Kat be able to go observe this scene, or would I need to re-roll to try and get in there?
Yeah, so the way that the inside of this building is, I guess now I can stop being coy about it. It's a dungeon. It's so complex with all these bookcases and these rooms and these powerful artifacts. It is you would have to dungeon crawl through it. And there's a lot more to this arc when you go back to your time. So I think, Kat, on some level, it'd be dangerous for the whole party and extremely dangerous for you alone.
Okay.
You actually just fought Laszlo. He does not fuck around, and he's going to continue to not fuck around when you go back to your time. Although I'm not going to call him Laszlo anymore. He was never Laszlo. He's Hale. He's always been Hale. The Hale you've been talking to the entire campaign is the Kitsune.
Always has been.
Always has been.
Yeah.
Quick question. I'm just thinking about for a second. The Dream Voltron. Did Hale ever have anything on that we were like, oh, that's Hale's part of the Dream Voltron?
Yeah, there's a purple tail on it.
Oh, and did that vanish when the Kitsune tails appeared?
No.
No. Huh.
Oh my god, Hale's still down there.
It's a big building inside.
Oh,
Christ.
Also, remember the spiders. Remember the spiders appeared when the Baku's tulpas were running loose, and that was Hale's fear. As
Right.
Ruth
So-
reported to you.
Hail rescue mission, yes!
Oh, heck.
Yes. All right, right. But like, it's like, so like, cat's like doing like the stakeout, and then sees everyone else like Aze and Neellith and Slime and Sun Moon Stars just with the Beyblades.
It's funny because the thing I was going for is like, oh, this librarian is so violent and rowdy, and then it's like, oh, I bet in the past before he was replaced, he was like meek, but like no, he was actually rowdier. He immediately fired a plasma beam, which the Kitsune has never done because he doesn't want to like go too far. But at the real Hale, absolutely plasma first, questions later.
Oh boy.
The Kitsune just eyeing up Hale the whole time, like, if I get the chance to replace this guy, perfect cover. I can fight whoever I want.
He's got a building with 30-something legendary artifacts of immense power inside of his
Oh, good.
infinite twisting dungeon, so...
And a traditional D&D dungeon in which to hide a person.
I hid it in plain sight.
You could say that he is a dungeon with a dragon born in it.
Austin, you're no Dungeons or Dragons rule.
He's a dragonborn. It's different.
Yeah. He's also a half dragonborn, so like, there you go. It's a quarter dragon. It's a quarter dragon with 3/4 dungeon.
So as you I assume, gather up the Beyblades, take them back to the dump, get in position. Where are you going next?
Do we just go back to where we were, since we now have something to act on, or is there another?
I mean, one more trip through the past is a big opportunity before we go back.
I'll say, yeah, you look at the Beyblades, they're blackened and cracked, but not, they look like they might have a couple more. They're not about to break, but, you know, progress.
It's like, I guess one thought would be, if people wanted to go to when Voya left, they could see a little bit of that and get some insight of maybe what the Kitsune might have been doing at the time.
I mean, I guess Kat would have relayed all of this to the rest of the party. And one question that's on Kat's, there would be on Kat's mind, having watched this, but isn't necessarily like crucial to the mystery, is whether Hale did anything that like warranted getting got by, you know, Agent Kitsune. But it could just be that was like a good disguise that the Kitsune fancied having. And like I said, might not be like vital to the mystery.
Now, I'm drawing a blank on anything else. I feel like rescue mission is the way to be going.
Before we go, since this place isn't real, let's all do what we want to do. Yeah, I have an idea for what I want to do. Just say, you know, it's not, the place isn't real. Just saying, nothing here counts. Yes, as I said, what happens in a time thing stays in it. So
We have one extra trip. We could have a beach adventure.
wait, like I'm just saying, there's, you know, ourselves here, and everyone has agreed through fan fiction. It's okay to do that.
I would argue that what you do when there are no consequences is who you actually are. But go off, I guess.
All right, let's go, Slime. And they just
I mean, listen, whatever Mari wants to do off screen, we're not going to be able to describe to the audience anyway, so let's just say it happens.
I don't know if you guys have seen the new show Loki.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. Thanks.
I don't care. No, I have something to say. It's okay. I know. We all agreed alternate dimension gender swaps was okay, and suddenly it isn't?
I think it is.
I'm glad
It's
they
fine.
did it.
I love that you're like, if it was in fan fiction, that means all of society agreed on the law.
No. We all agreed that in fan fiction, some of it was bad and some of it was good, but we're all gonna watch it. But this one, for this debate, anyway. Just...
I don't even know what we're talking about at this point. So
I mean, I do, but I wish I didn't.
yeah,
We should. No, I'm right.
You know what? You're right. I agree with you.
Thank you.
Don't yell at me. All right, so everyone gets back inside the Beyblades after doing whatever else they were doing. It's none of my business. It's between you and yourself and yourself and yourself. And the lightning kicks up again, starts enveloping you, and once again you see this smooth metal humanoid outside the lightning. Aze, you are more prepared this time, so maybe you can draw other people's attention to it.
Yeah.
But it walks towards all of you. It is almost 8 feet tall, smooth metal. It seems to have some sort of sword and some kind of shield. It does not look particularly pleasant, and it starts walking towards you as the lightning envelops the team.
I'm pretty sure young Aze who's standing in there before he gets shoved out, just like, whoa, what the fuck is that thing? Just like.
Do we have to focus on going back? Because that thing, I'm looking at it in Roll20, I'm like, that's the only thing that I would be focusing on.
Possibly the same for me. So I don't know if that's going to influence the time travel. I don't know.
Yeah. So as the lightning fully envelops you, all of your attentions are, all of your attentions get broken. You're not focusing on what you should be focusing on. Mm-hmm. And in fact, I now want to invoke a consequence of something that happened, I believe, 2 episodes ago at this point. Neellith, you botched, and you saw your reflection on some snow in a snow-covered hill. The landslide brought you down. It was a goblin face that you saw. But that's, when a botch consequence is usually like you break an item or you take a bunch of damage. Seeing a face is not really much. But now it is, because I'm going to invoke that to say when everyone's attentions get taken by this huge metal creature with a giant sword that's coming towards you, you all try to refocus. And once again, you catch a reflection of yourself in its metal body, and you just look like a goblin. And that's what you're thinking about when the lightning takes you.
You can't make me have consequences 2 weeks after I did a thing. That's long-term consequences, and I play D&D to get away from those.
Hey, we just had our chance to be consequence-free, but none of you took it. I did.
So when the lightning clears and you're standing in the dump again, you find there is no trash, there are no walls, there are no gears sticking out of the ground.
Hey.
Wow, someone really cleaned this place up. Wow.
Now what will we throw things into?
Ozzy blinks a few times and will just simply say, "Are we here before the machine made its presence known?"
It's just this clear, beautiful day. I think immediately you're like, oh God, are we back in dinosaur times? Oh no. But no, you're not. I think you see some, modern mammals. Let's be real. You see some rats vibing around. They're just walking around looking for scraps. It's a pretty clear day. There's probably just a little bit of snow on the ground. You can look around yourself. You don't see any buildings. There's no village here. And while you're kind of getting your bearings, you hear a weird shrieking sound coming towards you overhead. And once again, you're probably like, oh God, pterodactyl, fuck. But then you look up and you see 2 large objects. One is shaped like a nautiloid, like the cephalopod, the nautilus. It's a sea creature, kind of like a squid. It's a spiral shape with like little tentacles in front. But it's fucking huge. It's like bigger than any, building in town. It's like the governor's lodge in size. And it's flying through the air at ridiculous speeds for, your understanding of how physics should work. Mm-hmm. And
that's a Reaper.
It does have Reaper vibes, but that's on Mass Effect stealing the nautiloid from Spelljammer. That's on you.
Sure.
And you see that this nautiloid, this flying nautilus metallic craft is chasing what appears to be Marina's house.
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
Oh, fuck yeah.
This is a nautilus, in case you don't know, fam. They are cool. They're like what if squids were even cooler?
So we're getting a bunch of origins all happening at the same time here. Oh yeah.
Neellith, I think we're going to meet your parents.
I love that Kat somehow knows the nautiloid is crewed by illithids. I mean, you're right, but damn.
It's a spaceship. That's always an illithid thing.
If it's a ship and it has tentacles, I mean, why wouldn't Cat put that together? Bigger tentacle mean mom.
I can roll history if you want to check if I know it, I guess.
Yeah, you think the ship is Neelith's mom.
Yeah. Oz rolls an 18 in history, but just gets he recognizes the ship that looks like Marina's ship in particular, and then just thinks, is that where the machine came from then?
I was following the pack, all swallowed in their coats, with scars of red tied round their throats to keep their little heads from falling in the snow. And I turned round and there you go, and Michael, you would fall and turn the white snow red as strawberries in the summertime.